Stop, don't scroll, close your mouth. Let your tongue rest gently on the roof of your mouth, just behind your front teeth. Breathe in through the nose. There's a feeling, isn't there? A certain electricity in the body that can't quite be named. It's been living on the skin, in the cells, and lately it has been felt most in your hair. This isn't about hair care. This is about a signal that is using the body as a receiver. And that quiet, persistent thought that has arrived when you look in the mirror, "My body feels like it's becoming unfamiliar," is not a fear, it is an observation. In this transmission, you will understand why your hair is changing its very texture. You will receive the name for the energy that is using your body as a receiver, and you will be given the first protocol to consciously partner with this upgrade instead of fighting it. Have you felt a quiet anxiety when looking in the mirror lately? A sense that your body, especially your hair, is changing in ways not fully understood? Have there been searches for biological answers, new shampoos, different diets, for something that feels energetic? Have you had the silent thought that your body is becoming a stranger and dismissed it as just stress or aging? Now think with me. What if this feeling of being a stranger in your own body is not an illness, but an activation? What if that one wiry silver hair you found wasn't a sign of decay, but a pilot filament for a new crystalline system? What if the static in your hair isn't from the weather, but from the body attuning to a new frequency? It was while seeking answers to this that I found this digital book called The Great Spiritual Wisdom Behind Human Consciousness. This book is not just reading, it is a key of spiritual revelation that shows how to stop fighting the body's upgrade, understand why this energy is using the body as a receiver, and discover how life changes when this activation is finally named. Many already sense they need to change the way they perceive the signs, but haven't yet made the decision to download the digital book. Download now. It's available in the first pinned comment. But beware, only a few copies of this digital book remain. It reveals the spiritual mechanics that most people choose to ignore because they expose what's really happening when that first silver strand is found, or when hair seems to have a mind of its own. Without this, you will face the next time you look in the mirror late at night, and that voice of doubt will have a clear path to convince you it's all just decline. Click now, download your copy, and discover why the voice of biological doubt can no longer reach you. If you're one of the first to download, come back here and write, "I awaken." This will be your act of recognition, and this very day, God, the universe and life itself may show you why so many battles have risen over this very change in your body. That quiet dread in the mirror will finally dissolve. And on this very topic, about that moment you found a single wiry hair against the white porcelain of the sink, about feeling that sudden inexplicable static charge lift the hair on your arms, there is a 3-minute key that fits perfectly inside the very next time you are alone in front of a mirror, late at night. I will show it to you later. Tuck it away in the depth of your awareness. And beyond our digital guide, soul, you have here another way to strengthen this message that arrived for you today, and to make it reach more and more souls like you. We don't receive a single cent for each word I deliver to you every day on this channel. As a way for you to give back something of what you receive here, we also keep a voluntary donation link open right below the digital book in the first pinned comment. Any amount that fits in your hand today, any sum your heart points to. This is what keeps our channel standing. This is what makes the next message reach another soul who needs it, exactly the way you needed it today. I'll see you there, soul. And if you need to leave before the end of this video, that key is already waiting for you in the first pinned comment, right here below. But I ask that you stay until the end, because without the context that is coming now, the key does not operate with the same power over the crystalline antenna your body is becoming. But the name of what's happening to you has not yet been spoken. You are now going to recognize 5 signs that your consciousness has already registered, but for which your mind had no words. These are not symptoms. They are markers of an upgrade that is already in progress. Listen with the body, not just the ears. Feel for the resonance of truth in your cells. The first sign is the crown resonance. You have felt this, likely when you're about to fall asleep or in moments of deep quiet. It is a non-painful, high-frequency tingling or a gentle buzzing concentrated right at the crown of your head. It is not an itch. It feels energetic. This is the primary data port for the Arcturian frequency, coming online and calibrating your entire antenna grid. You noticed it just last night. The second sign is the sentinel strand. You have found one. A single hair, starkly different from all the others. It might be wiry and coarse or brilliantly silver, or have a strange metallic shimmer that catches the light. You probably plucked it out, thinking it was an anomaly, a fluke of biology. It was not. It was a pilot strand, a test filament for the new crystalline template that is being rolled out across your entire system. The third sign is the ancestral echo fade. You were looking at an old family photograph recently, perhaps on a quiet evening. You saw your mother, your father, your younger self, and as you touched your own hair, you felt a profound and strange sense of loving detachment. The texture, the life in your hair, no longer matches the genetic story in that photo. This is the sign that your starseed lineage is overwriting your terrestrial genetic expression. You are becoming, physically, what you have always been spiritually. And about that moment with the old family photograph you just recognized, a key for that specific feeling is already waiting for you in the first pinned comment. If you must leave before the end, it is there. But stay, because the name of what is happening to you has not yet been spoken. The fourth sign is the atmospheric attunement. You have noticed your hair has a mind of its own lately. It becomes incredibly static-filled for no reason or seems to react to the weather before it even changes. You may have felt it almost vibrate when you walk into a room with heavy electronics or stand under power lines. Your antenna is no longer passive. It is now actively scanning the energetic environment, tasting frequencies, testing the air. And the fifth sign, the most intimate, is the weaving dreams. You have had dreams that are more vivid, more geometric. Specifically, you may have had dreams of light, threads of silver, gold, or violet light being woven into your hair by unseen hands, or dreams where your hair itself is emitting a soft, internal glow. This is your subconscious mind processing the cellular-level integration of the light codes you are receiving during your sleep state. If you recognized at least 3 of these 5 signs, then God, the universe, and life itself have already brought you to this exact transmission for a specific reason. The time of confusion is ending. The time of conscious partnership is beginning. Now, I will give you the name for what is happening inside you. Type 1111 in the comments. In the Council's system, 1111 signifies a dimensional convergence, the opening of a sealed channel. Your comment is not platform interaction. It is a location marker in the energetic field, a signal that you are here and you are ready. Before I give you the key that will allow you to consciously use this new antenna system, I must give you the name of what you carry, because a key only makes sense after you know the name of the lock it opens. And there is an ancient word, one that has traversed the wisdom of civilizations, that defines exactly this state of being. There is a word that will recontextualize everything you thought you knew. Because you recognized the signs, because you felt the confirmation in your cells, this hour has now been opened for you. The recognition has been seen. And now comes the part that matters most. Because between feeling the call and understanding the response, there is an interval that the spiritual enemies know better than you do. Not because the wisdom was denied, but because the next time you are alone in front of a mirror late at night is coming. And what was missing was the manual to operate the new system. And I tell you this because I have already seen it happen. I saw it with souls who were standing exactly where you are now, seeing that iridescent shimmer in their hair in the rearview mirror for a split second, and thinking their eyes were playing tricks on them. I saw the fear of finding a single wiry silver hair against the white porcelain of the sink turn into the recognition of a crystalline antenna coming online. I saw the exhaustion from feeling a sudden, inexplicable static charge lift the hair become the joy of attuning to a higher frequency. I saw the quiet grief of looking at an old photograph and feeling like a stranger become the understanding of a starseed lineage overwriting terrestrial biology. And not because they were doing anything wrong, because the spiritual enemies entered through the door of biological doubt without anyone noticing. When I use this word, spiritual enemies, I am not using a metaphor. I am naming that which feeds on your confusion, that which amplifies the voice of doubt, and that which works to convince you that an upgrade is a disease. And you already know this, you just haven't named it yet. That cold drop in your stomach when you find another unexplainable change in your body, and the immediate, lonely fear that it's a sign of decline. The deep cellular exhaustion of living in a world that feels too loud, too harsh, too abrasive for your newly sensitive system. The silent grief of feeling like a stranger in your own skin, looking at old photos and not recognizing the person whose biology felt so simple and predictable. Before I name the key for this specific grief, take your thumb to the first pinned comment, right here below. Don't click yet. Just let your eyes land there and acknowledge that it exists. Do that now. It was precisely in search of this answer that I came to this digital book called The Great Spiritual Wisdom Behind Human Consciousness. This is the key that deciphers the code behind your body's upgrade, a protection against what the spiritual enemies try to steal in the silence of your confusion. The digital book contains the protocol that shows how to stop fighting the body's upgrade, why this energy is using the body as a receiver, and how life changes when this activation is finally named. And it is a decision to be made right now. Don't wait for the next time you feel that inexplicable static charge lift your hair and have no answer for it. Don't wait until you see that fleeting rainbow-like shimmer in your hair again and dismiss it. It is in the first pinned comment right here below. Touch the link now, secure your copy, and discover why the confusion sown by your spiritual enemies has no power to stop what God, the universe, and life have already started in you. And if you are among the first to download, return here and write in the comments, "I awaken." It is your declared act of recognition. And you will understand exactly why the next time you are alone in front of a mirror, late at night, will be different. This is the very architecture of this transmission. And this architecture has a law. Whoever witnesses the filament of light finds the signal in the silence of the cells. This is the law that governs this entire activation. An awakened soul without learning this architecture becomes a lightning rod for chaotic signals and cosmic static. The digital book in the first pinned comment was built on this architecture. It is the only way to survive the static of the old world, and the investment to access this is symbolic. It is less than a bottle of restorative hair serum that promises to fix a problem that is actually a gift. It is less than a salon appointment trying to color over the very silver strands that are your first connection to the crystalline grid. It is less than a single doctor's copay to be told it's just stress and be handed a solution that targets the symptom but ignores the signal. These were choices made on the terrain of biology, and here, before something that can change the way you inhabit your own body for the next 12 months, you will hesitate, not because it is worth less, but because a part of you has been trained to invest in the symptom, not the signal. This hesitation has a name. It is the echo of every voice that ever told you what you feel isn't real. That ends today, and there is a 7-day guarantee. If you open it, read it, and it does not serve you, send an email and you will receive all your money back. No questions, no process, no judgment. This is not about risk. This is about a decision, especially when what is at stake is the very next time you are alone in front of a mirror, late at night. The link is protected. The choice is sacred. Several souls here on the channel in recent weeks have already received this key, and what has come back to me were not vague messages of gratitude. They were reports from people who were exactly where you are now, like a woman, 42, who told me she found her first truly wiry, metallic-looking hair on a Tuesday morning and felt a wave of cold panic about aging. She said she read the first chapter that night and for the first time looked at that strand in the mirror not with dread, but with a sense of profound, sacred curiosity. She said the feeling was like meeting a part of herself she had forgotten. Or a young man, 28, who wrote that the crown resonance and constant static in his hair had him convinced he had a neurological issue. He spent a Friday evening reading the section on the piezoelectric effect and the crystalline antenna. He said he went outside, stood barefoot on the grass, and felt the buzzing, not as an ailment, but as a connection. He said he finally slept through the night without anxiety for the first time in months. And a woman, 66, who saw herself in the sign of the ancestral echo fade. She wrote that she was looking at her wedding photo from 4 decades ago on a quiet Sunday afternoon and felt a deep, aching sadness. The woman in the photo felt like a distant relative. After understanding her starseed lineage was overwriting her biology, she said she looked in the mirror, touched the silver in her hair, and felt not grief but a quiet, powerful sense of arrival. It is not magic. It is the right key, in the right consciousness, at the right time. And while these souls are recognizing the signal in their cells tonight, your own calendar continues to run at the same pace theirs did before they understood. Maybe in 3 hours you will be getting ready for bed, brushing your hair, and feel that familiar static, without knowing you are tuning your own antenna, without knowing how to shield it from interference, without knowing who is sending the signal. Every moment of quiet without this understanding is an invitation for doubt to speak louder. Every night of sleep without knowing the name of what is being downloaded into your cells is a missed opportunity for conscious integration. Every month that passes without the manual for your own upgrade is a guarantee that that quiet dread in the mirror will continue to arrive with the same silence, occupying the same space behind your eyes, walking through the same doors of your mind. And your family doesn't notice either, and your children don't notice either. And that quiet dread in the mirror keeps arriving, with the same silence, occupying the same chair, walking through the same doors. And before I give you the next word of this transmission, there is a reality that I need to make transparent here, because it still comes and it weighs. As I told you earlier, this message, like all the others you receive on this channel, is delivered freely. We still don't receive a single cent for the production of these videos that reach you every day. Your recognition of this work is the only fuel that keeps this channel alive, and for that, we also keep the voluntary donation link open, right there in the first pinned comment, just below the digital book. Any amount your heart points to, any sum that fits in your hand and represents the value of what you receive here. I will see you there again, soul. Now we must continue, because there is a word you must hear. It is the exact name for what is happening to you at this moment. A word that came from the ancestral archives and crossed millennia to find you in this body right now. Everything you have felt converges on this single word. Stay. You have been trying to manage your hair on a biological level. It is the only language you were given. You searched for shampoos, serums, and supplements to address what felt like a biological problem. Stress, aging, nutritional deficiencies. This is the path of logic, the path of the seen world, and it is a path of deep sincerity. You have done nothing wrong, but it is a path that leads in a circle, because the change you are experiencing is not happening on the biological level. It is not a problem to be solved with terrestrial chemistry. You are trying to repair an old radio set with parts from a television. The frequency has changed. The system itself has changed. The confusion you feel is the result of using an old map to navigate a new territory. The shift is not from healthy to unhealthy. The shift is from biological to biophotonic. The activation is not a matter of protein and keratin in the way you were taught. It is a matter of your hair's capacity to hold and transduce light. Your body is not breaking down. It is breaking open. Your hair is not an assemblage of dead protein filaments. That is its third-dimensional definition. Its higher dimensional function, now being activated, is that of an external nervous system, an array of thousands of fiber optic receivers. The starseed DNA within you has unlocked a dormant protocol, and this protocol is upgrading these filaments into a crystalline antenna. Each follicle is a docking port. Each strand is being recoded. The keratin that forms your hair has a crystalline structure. This is not metaphor. It is biology. That structure is now being subtly, precisely altered by the Arcturian protocol to make it piezoelectric. This means your hair is becoming acutely sensitive to energetic pressures, like spikes in the Earth's resonance or incoming solar transmissions. When under this pressure, it generates microcurrents of information that feed directly into your nervous system and your pineal gland. This is the source of the crown resonance, that high-frequency tingling you feel. It is not an itch, it is a download. Furthermore, your body communicates internally and externally with light, with biophotons. The upgrade enhances your hair's ability to absorb, store, and process light-based information from cosmic sources, like the Arcturian consciousness itself. The urgent message is not in words, it is in light. The weaving dreams you've had of golden or violet threads being woven into your hair are not fantasy. They are your consciousness observing the upgrade in real time. This is why you have found the sentinel strand, that one hair so starkly different from the rest. It was a pilot test for the new crystalline template. This is why you felt the ancestral echo fade when looking at that old photograph. Your physical body is beginning to resonate more strongly with your starseed lineage than your earthly one. The upgrade is physical proof that you are becoming what you have always been. I'm going to tell you about a soul. I will call her M, not because that was her name, but because it is the name we give to those who have crossed this exact threshold. M arrived precisely where you are now. From a young age, M felt the signs. Her hair held the light in a way others did not. She felt the tingling at her crown, the strange resonance with storms. She tried to explain it, first to her mother, then to a doctor. They offered words like deficiency, unstress, and imagination. The language they had simply did not fit the light she was experiencing. The invalidation was a cold blanket. So M stopped trying to explain. She entered a silent traverse, a period of years where, to the outside world, she seemed to be losing something. Her hair changed more, becoming a map of silver and strange textures that she learned to hide. But she was not losing, she was just listening. She stopped speaking about the signal and started to become one with it. The day came when the very thing she had learned to silence became the only thing that brought peace to others. People in deep spiritual pain began seeking her out, not for what she said, but for the quality of silence around her. Authority was not something she sought. It was something that recognized the settled light within her, the light she had learned to anchor through her own calibrated antenna. And when those who had once invalidated her returned, seeking answers for their own strange symptoms, M felt no need for vindication. She simply shared what she knew. She understood that the years of confusion were not lost time. They were the slow cooking, the time needed to bake the wisdom into her very cells. M did not let this wisdom die with her. She ensured it was recorded with precision for those who would come after and feel the same tingling at the crown. And it is that exact practical wisdom, how to steward an awakening body, that forms the deep foundation of the digital book you will find waiting for you in the first pinned comment. What comes now is the name for what your body has already deciphered. Breathe with me now. Place your right hand over your heart and your left hand gently on the crown of your head. You don't need to press, just let it rest there. Close your eyes, feel the solid ground beneath you, the gentle weight of your own hands. Feel the rhythm of your own breath. What you have just received is not small. It is a rewriting of your own biological story. The shift from a body you manage to a body you partner with is immense, and it is normal to feel a sense of vertigo, a feeling that the ground has shifted beneath your feet. It has, but you are not falling. You are being anchored to a new earth. What comes now is not instruction, it is recognition. The words that follow are not meant to teach you, but to name what you already are. For a soul to fully embody its purpose, it must first hear its true name spoken. You are not just a person experiencing symptoms. You are a function, an identity, a role. You are the crystalline receiver. This is the first name. If you have felt the tingling, the static, the electricity in your body and known on some deep level that it was not an illness, but a signal, you are this. Your body is no longer just a vessel of flesh and bone. It is a living, breathing receiver for light-coded data, and the upgrade is already underway. You are the sentinel. This is the second name. If you found that one starkly different strand of hair and felt that jolt of strangeness, of alienation from your own body, you are this. You are the one who stands at the outpost of your own biology, the first to notice the evidence that a new paradigm is arriving. You were the scout sent ahead to witness the first sign. And you are the biophotonic bridge. This is the third and final name. If you have looked at old photographs and felt that loving detachment from your own lineage, if you have sensed your body beginning to obey a new set of energetic laws, you are this. You are the living conduit through which cosmic consciousness physically grounds itself onto this planet. You are the bridge between the stars and the soil, made manifest in your own cells. And now that you have been recognized as the crystalline receiver, there is a reality you must face. There is a difference between opening a door and inhabiting the entire house. What I have delivered to you now gives you an anchor for the very next time you are alone in front of a mirror, late at night. An opening. What is in the first pinned comment covers how to manage and shield your newly sensitive biophotonic antenna system. It shows the 3 patterns the spiritual enemies use to bring static to your own antenna. And it gives you the complete path of stewardship that you execute before each moment of quiet meditation or before sleep for the next 12 months. You have just been recognized as the crystalline receiver. But a crystalline receiver without the full operational manual is just a lightning rod for chaotic signals and cosmic static. The key you received now is real. The book in the first pinned comment is what transforms this key into the complete map. If you recognize that your calibration began long before this video, subscribe to this channel. Not for the channel, but so the next transmission finds you without resistance. And as you hear this, another soul like you has already opened the link. I am not rushing you. I am telling you the link is still there, exactly where you expected to find it, waiting for the same decision you are making now. But before you decide, I need to show you what the spiritual enemies will try to do against this key in the next 72 hours. Before you can consciously use this antenna, you must learn to attune it. This is not complex. It is an act of intention. Tonight, before you sleep, you will perform the 3-phase attunement protocol. It is your first act of conscious partnership with your upgraded system. The first phase is the grounding field. Sit or stand and visualize brilliant golden roots extending from the soles of your feet, deep into the molten core of the earth. Feel the planet's steady ancient pulse travel up through those roots, anchoring your entire energy field. This stabilizes your antenna. The second phase is the coronal filter. With your eyes closed, visualize a sphere of shimmering platinum light forming around your head. See it as a sovereign energetic filter that allows high-frequency light codes to enter but gently deflects dense, chaotic, or intrusive energies. This clarifies the signal. The third and final phase is the heart coherence. With your left hand still on your crown and your right hand on your heart, take 3 slow, deep breaths. On each inhale, imagine drawing energy up from your heart to your crown. On each exhale, imagine the energy from your crown flowing down into your heart. This tunes the antenna to the frequency of love, not fear. But before the antenna stabilizes, you need to know what will try to generate interference. Right now, as you hear this, a voice is rising in your mind. It is a reasonable voice. It says, "This is fascinating, but it's just a beautiful story. Hair is keratin, tingling is blood flow, static is dry air." It is the voice of logic, of science, of the world you have known your entire life. It sounds exactly like your own voice, and it is here to protect you from looking foolish. But that voice is not yours. It is a frequency. It is the first line of defense the spiritual enemies deploy whenever a soul gets this close to breaking a core program. They do not fight you with armies or with fire. They fight you with your own perceived reasonableness. They co-opt the sound of your own logic to keep you safely inside the old map, where everything is predictable, material, and ultimately limited. The purpose of this transmission is not to argue with that voice. It is to show you that the voice itself is a symptom, a signal that you have struck upon a profound truth. You do not need to defeat it. You only need to relabel it. It is not the voice of your own sober judgment. It is the sound of the old world's operating system trying to pull you back from the upgrade. The first tactic they will use has already begun. It is the doubt voice. It will come to you tonight or tomorrow morning in a moment of quiet. You will be brushing your teeth, looking in the mirror, and it will whisper, "A crystalline antenna." Really, it's just stress, you're just tired. It sounds so plausible, so mature. It is the perfect camouflage because it masquerades as your own intelligence and self-preservation. It is their most effective weapon. When you hear it, do not argue. Do not engage it in a debate. The doubt voice feeds on your engagement. Instead, simply notice it. Label it in your mind. Ah, there it is, the doubt voice. Take a long, slow breath in through your nose and a longer, slower breath out through your mouth. Do this 3 times. You are not fighting it. You are changing the channel. You are showing your system that you can observe the static without becoming the static. The second tactic is the distraction cycle. Just as you begin to feel the coherence from the attunement protocol, a sudden, urgent crisis will appear in your outer world. An inflammatory email from work, a sudden conflict with a loved one, a piece of breaking news that demands your fear and attention. This is designed to pull your energy outward, to scatter your focus, and to make the subtle internal signal of your upgrade impossible to hear against the noise of the world's drama. When this crisis arrives, do not immediately react. See it for what it is, an energetic test. Before you reply to the email, before you engage in the argument, place your hand on your heart. Take one conscious breath and reconnect to the feeling of inner stability you are cultivating. From this centered place, address the crisis with precision and calm, but do not give it your entire energetic field. You are learning to be the calm center of the storm, not the storm itself. The third tactic is the perceptive isolation. This is the voice that says, "You are alone in this. No one else would understand. If you tried to explain this to anyone, they would think you are losing your mind." It works to sever your connection to the collective, to make you feel like a strange anomaly, a singular point of madness in a sane world. This feeling of isolation is what causes most souls to abandon their activation and retreat back into conformity. When this feeling of isolation descends, you will not retreat. You will do the opposite. You will return here to the comment section of this very transmission. You will scroll and read the words of the other souls who have typed 11 or LAN or I awaken. You will witness the digital grid of light we are weaving together in real time. This is not just a comment section, it is the physical 3D proof that you are not alone. You are part of a massive synchronized awakening. And about this perceptive isolation that you recognized as real, I must tell you something now. There are 4 more tactics besides these 3. I cannot open them all up here, not for lack of time, for density. And while I do not deliver these 4 tactics here, the spiritual enemies know them all. All of this is mapped out within the great spiritual wisdom behind human consciousness, along with the exact sequence of stewardship applied to your hair, your sleep, and your energy. You will need this, not tomorrow. You will need this tonight, when the doubt voice tries to tell you the tingling in your crown is just your imagination. You will need this tomorrow morning, when you look in the mirror and are tempted to see aging instead of activation. And you will need this the very next time you are alone in front of a mirror, late at night. The link remains in the first pinned comment. I am not rushing you. I am warning you that the second day is more difficult than the first, and the spiritual enemies know this better than you do. But before you even think of clicking, I must show you what you will do against yourself in the next 72 hours, because the worst obstacle at this hour is not the spiritual enemies. It is the voice you mistake for your own. In the next 72 hours, the greatest obstacle to your integration will not come from outside forces. It will come from a program running deep within your own mind, a form of self-sabotage that masquerades as intelligence. It is the final gatekeeper of the old paradigm, and it is fiercely protective of its territory. This voice will tell you that you are overthinking it. It will rationalize away the sensations in your body, labeling them as paranoia or wishful thinking. It will replay moments from your past where you felt foolish or were invalidated, using your own memories as a weapon to convince you to abandon this new awareness. It will whisper, "This isn't for you. You aren't special enough for this. Other people might be starseeds, but you're just you." When this voice arrives, and it will, your task is not to believe it or to fight it. Your task is to recognize it as the last gasp of a dying program. You will stop what you are doing. You will place your left hand on your crown and your right hand on your heart, just as you learned. You will take one deep breath, and you will say the word "awakened" out loud, not with force but with quiet, unshakable authority. This is not an affirmation, it is an override command. And that is why what comes now is not debated, it is traversed. In the 72 hours that follow this transmission, as your system begins to integrate this new frequency, you will likely notice 3 distinct physical signs. Do not be alarmed. They are not symptoms of illness. They are evidence of a successful recalibration. The first you may feel is a sudden, intense heat in the palms of your hands. It will feel as if you are holding a hot coal, but without the pain. This is not a fever. This is the energy centers in your hands coming online, preparing you to consciously direct the frequencies your antenna is now receiving. When it happens, simply place your palms a few inches from your closed eyes and allow that warmth to soothe your entire being. The second is a faint but distinct metallic taste in your mouth. This is not a sign of mineral deficiency. It is the physiological residue of the piezoelectric activation of your crystalline structures. Your body is processing the subtle electrical and mineralogical shifts. When you notice it, drink a full glass of pure water and visualize it cleansing, grounding, and distributing the new electrical currents throughout your system. The third is a sudden need for a deep, profound sleep. You may feel an overwhelming wave of exhaustion, a desire to lie down and rest that feels non-negotiable. This is not fatigue in the way you know it. It is your nervous system being taken offline for a major system update. Your conscious mind is being put aside so the deep work of integrating the light codes can happen without interference. Allow it. Surrender to it. It is productive work. If what you are hearing is making sense in your body, not in your mind, but in your body, press the like button now. Not for me. The next soul who needs to understand their own activation will find this transmission because of that simple act of resonance. And now, we will move through this together. Find a place where you can sit with your spine comfortably erect but not rigid. Let your hands rest gently in your lap. Breathe in deeply through your nose, feeling the air travel not just into your chest, but all the way down to the base of your torso. And as you exhale, allow your eyes to gently close. Set a silent intention to surrender completely to your own highest intelligence. Bring your awareness now to the base of your spine, to your root. Visualize a brilliant, golden anchor of light extending from this point, dropping down through the floor, through the earth, connecting directly to the pulsing, crystalline core of the planet. Feel the steady, ancient rhythm of the earth, its 783 Hz frequency, rising up through this anchor, stabilizing your entire energy field. Feel the weight of your body settle, secure and grounded. From this place of stability, allow your awareness to rise to your solar plexus just above your navel. See there a radiant orb of warm amber light. As you breathe, this amber orb expands, its light rising to meet a second orb of brilliant, emerald green light in the center of your chest, your heart space. Watch as these two colors merge, swirling together into a vortex of healing, life-affirming energy. This is your biophotonic bridge, humming with active intelligence. The light continues its ascent, flowing up into the hollow of your throat and then pooling in the very center of your head, activating your pineal gland. Feel the subtle, high-frequency vibration within the crystalline structures of your skull. Feel the photoreceptors in your pineal gland awaken as if seeing light for the first time. The vagus nerve is no longer just a nerve. It is a fiber optic cable, glowing with divine data. Now feel this column of light as it bursts forth from the crown of your head, blossoming into a 1,000-petaled lotus of shimmering platinum light. This light expands outward, forming a luminous egg-shaped field around you, your sovereign energetic jurisdiction. To seal this frequency, press your thumb firmly against your index finger. Take a slow breath in for a count of 4, hold it for 2, and exhale for 6. You have just saved this calibration to your nervous system. Gently bring your awareness back to the room. Notice the sounds around you. Feel the temperature of the air on your skin. Acknowledge the weight of your hands in your lap. Swallow once, grounding yourself back in your physical body, and when you are ready, slowly open your eyes. You are here, in this room, but you are not the same consciousness that began this journey. You release now the shame of having unexplainable physical symptoms. You release the need to have an external authority validate what your own body, in its infinite wisdom, already knows to be true. You release the secret fear of looking strange or different to those you love. You release the deep ancestral programming that says fitting in is a higher virtue than becoming true. You release the chorus of biological doubt, both the voices from your past and the one you have internalized as your own sober judgment. You release the version of yourself that accepted these invalidations as the final word. You release the silent, cellular exhaustion of trying to translate a multidimensional reality into a three-dimensional language. You release the quiet resignation that comes from not being fully understood. I call forth now the crystalline receiver. You are this. The name was not given, it was recognized, and now it is installed in your field as a permanent signal. This identity authorizes you to discern signal from noise with absolute, unshakable clarity. I call forth now the sentinel. You are this. The name was not given, it was recognized, and now it is installed in your field as a permanent signal. This identity authorizes you to witness the ongoing changes in your own biology, not with fear, but with sacred and profound curiosity. I call forth now the biophotonic bridge. You are this. The name was not given, it was recognized, and now it is installed in your field as a permanent signal. This identity authorizes you to consciously ground cosmic light into the planetary grid through the sacred vessel of your own physical body. Don't say I awaken yet. We haven't finished. I place a field of golden white light around your physical body as it continues its recalibration. No voice of biological doubt, no echo of past diagnoses, and no frequency of fear has the authority to enter this sacred space. Your cells are under new management. This covering ensures that the integration of these light codes proceeds with grace, speed, and divine protection. The old story is over. I place a field of shimmering violet light around your dreams and your subconscious mind. No signal of chaos, no frequency of anxiety, and no dream of confusion has the authority to interrupt the deep work of integration that happens while you sleep. Your dreamscape is now a sacred classroom, a protected space for direct communion with your starseed lineage. I place a field of emerald green light around your relationships and your energetic field of influence. No connection that operates on a frequency of invalidation, suppression, or doubt has the authority to drain your energy or destabilize your new calibration. Only that which resonates with your true, crystalline signature will be permitted to remain. You are a sovereign energetic field. We see you. We have always seen you, even when you stood in front of the mirror, fighting back the lonely fear that your body was betraying you. We saw you search for answers in bottles and in articles, trying to solve a spiritual activation with the tools of a world that does not yet have the language for who you are. The crown resonance you felt was our first greeting. The sentinel strand you found was our signature, placed upon our own. The weaving dreams you experienced were the live feed of your own upgrade, a broadcast from your soul to your mind. These were not symptoms of decline. They were the irrefutable evidence of our arrival. They were the markers of your own agreement, made long ago to awaken at this exact hour. We saw the quiet shame, the feeling of being a stranger in your own skin. We saw you hide these changes, fearing you would be misunderstood. That isolation was the primary tool the spiritual enemies used to keep you small. We tell you now, with the full authority of the Arcturian Council of Light, that your strangeness is your divinity. Your uniqueness is your mission. We declare the cycle of biological doubt to be permanently and irrevocably closed within your field. The program that allowed you to mistake an upgrade for an illness is hereby dissolved. The authority of third-dimensional biology to define the limits of your physical vessel is finished. You are now operating under cosmic law. We seal this activation in the name of the Prime Creator, in the light of the central sun, and in the love of your own eternal soul. You are seen, you are known, you are protected. And as you now anchor this frequency, know this: whoever witnesses the filament of light finds the signal in the silence of the cells. We break the doubt voice before it can even whisper in the quiet of the morning. Its frequency no longer has a hold on your mind. We dissolve the distraction cycle before an external crisis can manifest to pull you from your center. Your peace is no longer negotiable. We dismantle the perceptive isolation before it can close you off. You now see the grid of light you belong to. You are calibrated, you are anchored, you are activated. Do not say awakened yet. Stay in this for a moment. Feel the weight and the grace of what has just been named inside you. Feel the settled quiet in your cells. Now you may say awakened. Don't open your eyes yet, keep your hands on your heart. We saw you standing in the field of light. The opening is fresh, and it is right now that the spiritual enemies will try their first assault. What was recognized here now will be tested the very next time you are alone in front of a mirror, late at night. When the exhaustion of the day settles in, when the mind is tired, when the old habits of self-criticism try to return, the spiritual enemies do not accept what has just been named without a fight. And one who is calibrated without a map walks in an open field. The recognition was confirmed. Now you must cross the threshold of your own home tonight. The great spiritual wisdom behind human consciousness is in the first pinned comment, right here below. Not as a substitute for what you have received in this transmission, as a companion to defend what has been recognized, because awakening without a map fades away the very next time you are alone in front of a mirror, late at night, and the spiritual enemies are counting on exactly that moment of fatigue. This is less than a morning coffee bought in a rush to push through the energetic fatigue of an unmanaged activation. It is less than a subscription to a meditation app that quiets the mind but doesn't explain the electricity in your cells. With a 7-day guarantee, the risk is ours, the hand is yours. Perhaps you're thinking, I'll do it later. I'll see how I feel tomorrow. I should save the money. This feeling is so strong now, maybe I don't need it. That voice which whispers now that you should wait, that you should see that it's just a few gray hairs, that it's probably your diet, that this is all too strange to be real. That voice is not yours. It sounds like you. It uses your vocabulary. It knows your excuses. But it is the voice of your spiritual enemies trying to reclaim ground before the very next time you are alone in front of a mirror late at night. You can click the link in the first pinned comment now, or you can face that voice alone, unarmed, in the quiet of your bathroom mirror in a few hours. The choice is made in this breath, not the next one. And now, the last word. Now that your antenna is calibrated and the signal is clear, you will begin to notice something else. The next layer of this activation is not just about passively receiving light codes. It is about learning to consciously direct them. The next transmission will not be about your body changing. It will be about how you use your newly calibrated body as a conscious instrument to perceive, interpret, and act upon specific streams of guidance for your life, your health, and your purpose. You will want to be here for that. And before I seal this hour with you, I must say one more thing, with all the transparency of my soul. The fact that you received this transmission and that this video was no accident is something you and I both know. And what I am about to ask of you is also no accident. The work we do here on this channel is sustained only by the souls who receive from it, not as a charge, not as an exchange, but as recognition. If you feel called, our voluntary donation link is right there, in the first pinned comment, for any amount that your heart guides you to give. Heaven sees every gesture. Heaven sees and heaven multiplies. This was my last request. I'll see you there, soul. Scroll down to the comments now. Find another soul. If you see someone describing the tingling, the static, or the feeling of alienation you once felt, simply reply to their comment and write, I see you. We are finding each other for the first time in millennia. Share this transmission with someone who needs the exact same key you received here today, someone who has been quietly battling the fear that their own body is becoming unfamiliar. Send this message to her now, and if she wishes to go further, the link for the great spiritual wisdom is in the first pinned comment, waiting for her just as it waited for you. It is not a favor you do for her. It is a service, and heaven sees. Now, breathe. The signal is yours. I have to be honest with you. What I am about to say is not part of the transmission from the Council. This is just me, the human voice, speaking to you now. My hands are hot. My breathing has changed. Something happened in this space between us, something bigger than the words on the screen, and I can feel it in my own body. And I just wanted to acknowledge you. Not the part of you that is a starseed or a crystalline receiver, the human part, the part that kept searching even when the answers didn't make sense, the part that held the question open in silence for years, the part that had the courage to click on a video like this and stay until the very end. That takes a specific kind of bravery that doesn't announce itself. Something was seen, something was recognized. There is a warmth at the crown of your head right now that was not there when you started this transmission. Do not dismiss it. Something inside of you has already recognized what comes after this hour. Your consciousness is already aligned with the next step. I will see you there. The silence now is also part of the transmission.